Now on Manx Radio, in the week that started with Blue Monday, we take a look at an activity that's helped countless islanders with both their mental and physical health. As we've been hearing over the past week, getting into the sea has become a very popular pastime here on the island. As the Northern Dippers told us recently as they opened their new shelter on South Shore in Ramsey, you never see a grumpy dipper.
Hello, my name's Margaret Webb.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Brew.
Hi, I'm Charlie Lindsay.
And mine is Fiona Barlow.
This is actually the South Beach Shelter, community shelter, which has been built over the last, we first started this in about October 2021, so it's been quite a long journey, and it's absolutely brilliant to see it. It's brilliant to see it used, it's brilliant to hear all the positive feedback, and it's a community shelter, so anybody can use it, not just the swimmers. Lots of prom users come and sit and enjoy their time and have a chat.
We started as a group of sea swimmers. We're all actually members of the Blue Tits, and we started another subsidiary group as the Northern Dippers, and that was mainly so that we could do things like this. You know, when there's a howly gale down there, you're trying to get your dry robes on and hold on to everything, and we thought we really could do with a shelter for everybody. And that's how it all started, really.
And I guess it must feel like everyone sort of owns a little bit of it because everyone sort of contributed in some way, shape or form.
And that's what we wanted. We wanted it to be truly community. We wanted everybody to feel that it was theirs. You know, it was something for Ramsey.
It's all about communities, but it's also about getting in the sea. Why should people get in the sea, Charlie?
For your mental health. It's a bit like what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yes.
What's said in the sea stays in the sea. So you can literally empty your thoughts with someone else. They will listen, and there's no judgment. It's just an amazing feeling. It's just a great community. Everyone's just like-minded, and it's just brilliant.
Well, I've been swimming all my life on the shore down here, but when it's a great opportunity for people to swim together. I mean, I've seen me struggling in here in December by myself, but now it's much easier when you've got a group and people chat. You don't realise how cold it is when you're talking.
True.
Because I talk a lot, and people say, keep talking, Michael, keep talking, because you forget how cold it is sometimes.
Yeah, and
you got your stuff with you?
I do.
Come on, Ryan,
I
you'll be
always
right
do,
enough.
Michael. It's always in the back of the car. Is this calendar bribe? Is that what this is?
No, of course. I know it's a pleasure to see you, and we love you. You know, it's fabulous to come down.
You. The always charming Michael Starkey there, and a scotch of the Northern Dippers at their brand new South Shore Community Shelter in Ramsey. You'll find it just by the RNLI station. Likely along with some of the hardy sea swimming group, a scene that's grown and gathered momentum like a high spring tide over the past few years. At the start of 2023, I went to find out a bit more about this activity. So if you're looking for something new for 2025, maybe this could be you. Oh, we do like to be beside the seaside. And in the sea, it seems.
This must be underwater love.
Diving in. Stories from the sea.
This must be underwater love. The way I feel. When I first saw you, I was deep in clear blue water. The sun is shining, calling me to come and see you. I touched your soft skin and you jumped in with your
How is it? I like the contrasting responses there. Nice! Freezing!
You were new once too. Nervous to come along and not sure what to do. The photo showed smiles and frolics and fun. But would you feel like the embarrassed new one? You watched for a while through your laptop or phone,
wanting to join in and not feel alone. One day you felt brave, it was time to jump in. How lucky that day someone posted a swim. The welcome was warm, but the water was chilly.
It was freeing, exciting, and a chance to be silly. You loved it, it was bracing, but oh, what a laugh. Getting dressed was a mission. Quick, home for a bath. Thank goodness
that someone shared their swim on that day, or maybe you'd still be watching from a distance away. Now that you're settled, please post a swim or two, and remember that you were new once too.
I'm Sue Collier.
Lovely to meet you, Sue. Now, how long have you been jumping in the sea for?
A year last July. Yeah, I'd started really because my friend Midge used to swim in the sea. She was a real water baby. and unfortunately she passed away. And so every time I go in the sea, I think of her. And it's exhilarating, and it really is great. Love it.
And lovely group of ladies here this morning. So is there always a group this size?
Yeah, it can be 15, 20, it can be 2, 3, it's great. Yeah, we just all love it.
Hi, I'm Joanne. And Joanne, how long have you been doing this for?
About 5 weeks.
So you're quite new to this. How are you finding it?
Yes, great, really good, really, really good. And I'm glad I started at this time of year, straight in the cold. Great group of women here and a few men. I do once a week, nothing dramatic.
And what made you want to start?
My daughter persuaded me. She's an avid outdoor swimmer.
Lovely. So does she do other places as well as the sea?
She's in London, so
okay.
She started at the Hampstead Ladies Ponds and will swim anywhere at any time.
Will she ever get in the sea? What do you think about you getting in the sea?
I think she's quite proud, hopefully.
So you've not been on the island long?
No, 6 weeks.
So you actually moved here and just started getting in the sea?
Why not?
My name's Fiona, and I started swimming about a year and a half ago. A friend said, come in the sea, and I was like, ooh, I don't know, it's going to be absolutely freezing, and I've been here for a very long time and I still haven't gone in the sea. Anyway, I did and absolutely loved it, and ever since then I've been addicted really. And every opportunity I get, I'm in. We also do social things together, and it's just become like a extended family really, and it's been really lovely.
My name's Jane. My story of the sea is I lost 8.5 stone last year, and I decided that I needed to have my knee replaced and that I'd lost all the weight, but I now needed to try and get myself a little bit fit, ready for my surgery. So I kept seeing little posts on Facebook about the blue tits, and I thought, will I go and join them? But I was too frightened to. And then I realised one of my friends was actually on blue tits, so I messaged her privately, and she does tuition for people that want to start sea swimming. That's Kirsty. She took me on a one-to-one. It was absolutely fantastic. And then I joined my sister, who lives in Ramsey and is one of the blue tits, and joined this group, and they're so lovely. I drive from Douglas on a Saturday and Sunday, and although there are swims in Douglas, I just love Ramsey. I grew up in Ramsey. I feel like a little girl when I get in the sea. It's just such fun. Last week we were jumping great big waves, and what's so lovely is the family here, in that my mobility's poor, and every single person that was jumping the waves after a big wave will go, "You still on your feet, Jane? You okay?" And it's great, and nobody judges you. I'm in a wetsuit to keep my knees stable, and no one cares. People are in costumes, people are in wetsuits, people are in t-shirt and knickers, and it doesn't matter. And there's no judgment, and everyone's just so lovely.
I'm Kirsty Coffey, and I am a qualified open water swimming coach, not a teacher. It's a very different thing. I can help people in open water outside. So things like maybe overcoming a fear of the water, fear of the cold, fear of seaweed. I can also help with things that relate to open water skills. So if you're swimming a race, you might need to know how to sight, how to do buoy turns, mass starts, running starts, anything like that. Anything that involves the sea.
There's something that is at the moment really dragging people to the sea, isn't there? It just seems to be a bit of an explosion of sort of an interest in sea swimming.
Absolutely. Sea swimming's always been around. I remember when I was at school, the violin teacher used to swim across Fenella Bay every single morning. I think he was in about his 80s maybe, and it certainly did him good. Since COVID, when our swimming pools and other fitness centres were shut, people had to exercise outdoors, and we definitely saw a lot more people drawn to it then. Once it gets talked about, more people want to try. I don't think I've met anybody that's tried it who hasn't said that it's got some sort of improvement on their life. Whether that's the cold, whether it's the company, the cold, within 2 minutes of going into the water gives you a fight or flight response, and that gives you a huge endorphin rush, and that's what makes you feel better. Mm-hmm. Don't need to stay in any longer than that. If you want to, that's awesome. But if you just want that endorphin rush, you can go in, minute or two, get out again. That's also brilliant for inflammation. Just the same as you would put an ice pack on a knee that was all inflamed. If you can manage to get into the water, again, just a few minutes, and it just relaxes everything and helps with that as well.
So if there's someone then that's listening to this and thinking, I'd really like to try this, what would you say is the first step?
Join the Manx Blue Tits on Facebook. There are loads of really welcoming people. There are dips and swims planned all over the island every day. You can look for me, Kirsty Coffey, I'm in the group. We'll go together, talk through the safety, have a little dip, get out afterwards, have a warm drink and a chat, and I'll make sure everybody's feeling okay before they leave.
Kirsty, it's an absolute joy talking to you, and I think it looks like a beautiful day for a dip.
It really, really does look like a beautiful day for a dip, and I wish I had the opportunity to get in there today, but I don't. But I love being by the sea anyway, even on days when I can't get in. That sound, not the aeroplane, the waves, the sound of the waves and the birds around as well. It's just so calming, so soothing. It's lovely.
Oh, my name's Sue Chalmers.
How would you describe the feeling of getting in the sea?
Oh God, it's cold. There's no doubt about it. It is absolutely freezing. But if you want it to build up your resistance to the cold and to begin to see life in a different way, to enjoy nature, to be outside and to connect with nature and to just to be, that's what it's about really for me anyway.
I'm Jill and this is Martin.
Martin Cole, yeah.
We've just been sea dipping because that's what we like to do because we're all a bit mad.
So tell me about your sea dipping experience, Martin.
Well, Gillian got into it first and she seemed to be having so much fun that I thought, well, I'll give this a try, you know. And,
so when did you first get in?
Oh, I don't know.
It was your birthday, the 24th.
Yes, it was the 25th. It was on my 65th birthday. On the 25th of July was the very first time I went in the sea.
But that was much warmer then, but you're still doing it.
Oh, yeah. No, it's... I started off with just a wetsuit jacket and then progressed on to having a full wetsuit now. It's great. I just got to get straight in, you know, haven't you? And yeah. No, I love it now. Good. Yes, what was my idea to come today, sort of thing.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. It's very calming, I find, very relaxing. You know, it's like you just paddle around at your own pace and just let the world go by, and it's just lovely.
Sort of like the motion of the sea, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like it's a living thing that, you know, you're sort of there and you're part of it, yeah. It sort of made me realise that, you know, it doesn't matter what time of life you're at. You know, if you want to do it, have a go at it. And you know, that's it, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm dying for the dolphins to turn up for a swim.
That'd be amazing. Well, listen, I wish you all the best of luck with the dipping and the dolphins.
Thank you so much, Christy.
Thank you.
I'm Claire. I've been swimming probably for nearly 3 years, but about 18 months with the Blue Tits in Ramsey, and it's just such a lovely group of welcoming, fun and inclusive people. Everyone looks out for each other. Sometimes if you're having a bad day, you can just pop into the sea, have a chat, you know, it stays in the sea, what's said in the sea stays there.
Flocking to the sea.
Lots of people that you wouldn't normally meet, people of all ages, and there's no pressure, there's no judgment. You just turn up, no one cares what you look like, what you're wearing, and it's just really good fun.
And Kelly, tell me a little bit about your getting in the sea story.
So it's a very short one at the minute because this is my second one. So this is my second dip. Started by moving here in August. Doing some cold water dips in the rivers, and then found this group on Facebook and asked if I could come along, and they were all really happy to let me. So I've kind of jumped in with both feet, and I love it. It's amazing. Yeah.
Fishing boats sail past the shore.
It's Pamela Rowan. I came over to work in the hospital.
From where?
I came from Orkney and came from Manchester before Orkney.
So what made you want to join the Blue Tits?
To integrate myself into the community, to have a social, to just enjoy the water and be healthy and have it be refreshing.
And what's your experience been so far?
Oh, wonderful. They're very, very welcoming, very kind. I just love it.
So I suppose now you are on the island, and has this made your experience better here for this group?
Yeah, I don't think I could have survived it without them.
Oh, what makes you say that?
Well, because I'm alone. I've got no family, nobody else here with me. So they just helped me feel welcome and feel supported, and they were like a little family to me. Yeah, I feel alive when I go in the sea. It's a stress reliever. It's just wonderful, just magical. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, enjoy your sea dipping experience, and thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
I'm John Snelling, and I'm a GP by background, working mainly for Manx Care nowadays.
How long have you been getting in the sea, and what made you want to start?
My wife persuaded me. She was a member of the Manx Blue Tits for a year or so before I joined. So we've been swimming together for about 2 years now. We've trying to get in, well, around once a week throughout the year. We've not been in over Christmas because we've been across. And I was saying I actually miss it, which is a crazy thing to say, isn't it? But it's really true. I miss the buzz of it. I miss the sense of well-being you get from it. So, it is properly an addiction now.
There is this sort of promise of it being almost like a cold water therapy in a way. So I should ask you then, with your professional hat on, what do you make of the claims that it can be beneficial to your physical health?
Well, it's more than claims nowadays. There has actually been quite a bit of medical research done into this, and some of it's fairly obvious. Undoubtedly, there is a sense of well-being, and anybody who has managed to get in the cold sea and survived and got out again will tell you that they feel better when they get out. But it's not just for a moment or two. It usually lasts for several hours after you've been in for even sort of a short time, 5-10 minutes at a time in the winter, which is probably all you should be doing because of the temperature of the water. So there is the sort of mental health thing in terms of a sense of well-being. Extending that, undoubtedly some research has been done that has shown that folks with mental health conditions, so mild depression, anxiety, that sort of thing, have reported improvement of those symptoms when they swim regularly. And then there are some physical things. It does improve your metabolism because your metabolism has to work harder when you're cold. And so if you do that regularly, then your body gets used to burning calories quicker. And so it's obviously good from that point of view. It does help blood pressure, sort of mild blood pressure, although I would say that if you have uncontrolled blood pressure, it's probably not a good idea, and you should certainly seek medical advice. It can help you sleep better, and there is even good evidence now that it boosts your immune system through production of things like white blood cells and antioxidants. So there are really a lot of now medical research projects which are beginning to show proven benefits, which is great.
It is. Gosh, it sounds like a win-win, doesn't it, really?
It really is, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess then what we should do, though, obviously there are dangers to it as well. So how can we best keep ourselves safe? They are cold temperatures. I'm presuming there can be dangers to it too.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I suppose the obvious thing is the cold. You can get hypothermia, and you hear our friends at the RNLI are always talking to us about not staying in the water for too long when it's cold, and that's certainly true. We generally say, those of us who are used to swimming in cold water, that you should stay in the number of minutes that the degree centigrade that is telling you that the temperature is. So, if the water is about 10, which it normally is in the sort of autumn time, then 10 minutes is about right to stay in. Much beyond that, and you will start to get cold inside, so your core body temperature will start to drop, and there comes a point where that can be dangerous. The other thing is that if you've got an untreated or unstable blood pressure or heart disease, then it's probably not a good idea, because it can destabilize that, and so you can get problems with rhythm of the heart and problems with blood pressure going up and down too much. So you do have to be careful from that point of view. And then I suppose thirdly, cold water shock. You know, we generally don't say jump straight in or dive straight in. You should generally immerse slowly so that your body gets used to the cold temperature, and some people can get a sort of shock if they jump in too quickly. So you just have to be slightly careful from that point of view. But look, the benefits, I have to say, I absolutely believe outweigh any of those risks for most people, as long as they're being sensible. So go and try it. It's really great, and it's free.
Hear me now, sweet water.
Hi, my name's Christine Collister, and my sea story is a couple of years ago, during all that craziness that was lockdown. I just thought I wanted to do something crazy instead of crazy coming to me. A couple of friends encouraged me to get in the sea in October, and I did it that first day. I have to say I was incredibly hysterical. I thought I'd never do it again. And a week later I thought, do you know what, I think I'd like to do it again. And now, several years later, I go in a lot. I don't get in every day, but I go in most days, and I absolutely love it. And my favourite place to get in is Fenella Beach. There's something incredibly magical about the place. It's never the same. The light on the rocks, on the sea, it's just beautiful.
My Fenella's great beauty in her waters, I'm saying.
It's like a welcoming hug. Those gorgeous rocks, they welcome you in, and there's definitely a sense of magic.
In the salt spray I'm born over again. Over again. Every dip in the water, every dip in the water, every swim in the sea. I love to swim in the sea.
I started dipping about 2 years ago when I moved over here, and I love being in the water, and I think mentally it's been amazing. But I tell you, it's definitely practice in getting used to the cold. I don't stay in for long, but you know, with mental health and all of those kind of issues, I do think that there's something magical. I mean, like looking out here now and the sun just on Onken, and you think, yeah, you can't really beat it, can you, really? You could
on
be
a beautiful
London.
day.
Yeah. You could be on the M25. So, yeah, I get it.
Hi, I'm Kate. I moved to the island just under 2 years ago with a huge fear of the sea. I swim in open water once ever because I was sponsored to do it. And for some reason, it just looked really inviting. So I paddled a little bit in the summer, and then a friend from work took me on a moonlight dip, and that was my first ever proper sea dip. I was terrified, but a group of strangers held my hand whilst I shivered, and I never stopped going in. I'm in several times a week now, and my mental health has absolutely rocketed to a place I've never been so happy before.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
And how is your fear of the sea now?
I don't have one. Seaweed doesn't bother me, the animals don't bother me, the waves don't bother me, I just love all of it.
Wow, that's an incredible story.
Yeah, complete U-turn.
So if there is someone who's listening who might have been thinking, do you know what, I'm feeling a bit low, this is something you think might help?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, physically and mentally, I think the benefits are immense, and some people say it's the placebo effect. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't matter if it works.
Hi, I'm Kate Levy-Berquist.
Kate, just tell us what we've been doing today.
Okay, so you've just done a cold water therapy session, you've done a wild dip in the Fairy Glen pool, and we've just had a lovely brunch.
So tell us about some of the people that come to these cold water therapy sessions.
Well, wild people, obviously, because Whenever did you think you're going to get in cold water? 8 degrees, 12 degrees, who does that? This is a new emerging thing. And, to be able to find comfort in discomfort, which is primarily what you're doing in cold water, which is why it helps with anxiety and depression, because that just offers resilience and confidence in abundance, doesn't it? So you're going to get people who are wanting to improve their well-being, mental health, physical health and spiritual health. That's the idea of it. And we are surrounded by water. We would be mad not to utilise what we've got on our doorstep.
And this is something that is super beneficial for health. And in fact, you've just finished doing a course on it, haven't you?
Yeah, I just done my cold water therapy training. And it's quite structured, this cold water therapy, and it's aimed at eventually putting it onto social prescription. So the people I train with actually have it on social prescription in the UK, in Devon, which is an 8-week cold water therapy course they offer to people who have got anxiety and mild depression. Because it's only a new emerging thing, socially prescribing in the UK. We're not actually socially prescribing, to my knowledge, on the island yet, apart from possibly physical activity, NSC vouchers and swimming. Whereas green therapy and blue therapy, which is what cold water would be, blue therapy, is going to be an emerging thing you can see. And in the UK, especially the people I train with, if you went to the doctor with anxiety and mild depression or very stressed, you would be offered this 8-week cold water therapy course. It's not let's forget about medication, because medication has its place and science has its place, but it's almost like people would like an alternative. So let's just add green and blue therapy in as an alternative when you go to the doctor, as well as medication if needed. And I don't know about you, but if anyone has spoke to the Blue Tits over time, and they have so many phenomenal stories where people with fibromyalgia and chronic pain are now not in chronic pain. I've spoke to women in the Blue Tits who've been on anxiety medication for 20 years and now are not on medication. Menopause, that's massive. We speak to them about their menopause, it's easing all their menopause symptoms. So if we can collect data on that, which would be best if it was the university students, then we're winning, because we need numbers and we need data, and we cannot ignore it anymore, that the benefits of cold water are phenomenal.
Many thanks to everyone who shared their sea story for this programme. I'm Christy DeHaven. See you at the seaside. You can find a much longer version of this programme at manxradio.com under the Island Life section of the podcasts. Just keep swimming.